Let's start this duel. What the heck is this? RangaOgdoadic with Ogdoadic. All right, begin. We're going to be starting off with an Ogdoadic, which is going to send a Dark Reptile from the deck to the graveyard. That will then trigger to do what? What the heck did it do? It activated. You could special summon this card from your graveyard, but banishment leaves the field. We're now making the Feral Imps, rank 4 Xyz, to search our deck for a Nunu. We're going to activate the Naya to send a Light Reptile. So first we sent a Dark Reptile, then we sent a Light Reptile. We're now going to be reborning the Ogdoadic Light, as we then also reborn the Ogdoadic Dark. So Light and Dark. What the heck's going on? Ogdoadic Daybreak is going to tribute to summon a token, 2 token, 3 token, 4 tokens onto the field that we could, of course, get linking off with, as we now make a Shock Trooper M frame to then special summon a RangaOgdoadic onto the field, as we now make a Cosmic Slicer Z-Roll. What? Add a card from your deck that you can put alien counters onto. We have the Planet Pollutant Virus. Sure. We're going to Ogdoadic Daybreak, banish the Feral Imp, send from the deck to the grave the Nightsword Serpent, which will trigger to reborn itself from the grave. Some Lightsword players are playing the Nightsword Serpent for that reason. Now we have the Skeletal Soldier, reborn a RangaOgdoadic from the graveyard, further linking this up into our Link 3 Insect. What is this doing? It's going to be banishing 2 from the graveyard to grab a RangaOgdoadic Hunting Dance. Now this could pop cards the opponent controls per different type of Link we have on the field. As we now make the RangaOgdoadic Stag. Actually, we got to see the animation. We're going to discard Max C on our own turn. Why would we do that? We're now going to Ogdoadic Overlord, reborn, also further reborning the end frame, draw 2 in the end phase, drawing into another Max C as we then Max C in the draw phase. Can we stop an evenly match? What is the Pollutant Virus doing? The Pollutant Virus says tribute an alien to destroy, wait, what? Destroy all face-up monsters without A counters until the end of the 3rd turn. Wait, I don't understand this. Destroy all face-up monsters without A counters your opponent controls until the end of your opponent's 3rd turn after this card's activation. What? The heck is that? Read the Link 3? Okay, what does the Link 3 do? Monster your opponent control with A counters are changed to defense. Neither player can activate their effects. And then each of the following of the Z-Roll can be used once per turn. If this card's Link Summon, we already saw that. You can remove 2 A counters to then normal summon a reptile from the hand. Sure. Battle phase, evenly match, banishing everything but the Z-Roll. We now have the Labyrinth Field Spell plus set for an end. Okay. He's floodgating at the Link 3. Okay, so that's the floodgate play. You can't get A counters and you're screwed, all right? We're going to Snake Rain, send 4 Ogdoadics from the deck to the grave. I think it's just reptiles. We're going to be returning back to Ariana, popping the Z-Roll through the field spell. So all that floodgating to now lose. What the heck? All right, tribute to special summon from the graveyard. As we now Cur Use, which is going to be targeting a card in the grave, I'm sure, to reborn it, as the Imperm now negates the Cur Use Ogdoadic. We're not losing a Labyrinth after that entire setup, are we? Yes, we are. No. No, Slayton. Let's cook again in the next turn. What the heck? I'm trying to understand what the heck this deck even did. So game 1 going to Labyrinth. You won't miss a thing as we hop into game 2. We're going to start off with a normal summon Seed, add up to 2 RangaOgdoadicas from the deck, then banish a card from the hand. Let's get rid of that RangaOgdoadic, which the Bloom could reborn it. Evenly match again. So if we didn't understand this from the first duel, we now properly understand it. What's going to happen is anytime the opponent summons a monster for 3 turns, it's going to gain an alien counter. And when it has an alien counter, the Z-Roll says that if you have an alien counter, you cannot activate the effects of a monster with an alien counter, and they're stuck in defense. That's the play. That's the floodgate. Let's go. That's it. But evenly freaking match. Okay. Again, banishing everything. We had Imperm negate, we had pop multiple cards, we had another Imperm negate. Ain't no way. And if we had enough room to set the called by and we were to not get evenly matched, we could have fingered the Butler. That big welcome is, of course, activatable. The turn it was set thanks to the effect of the Butler. We're going to be summoning the Ariana. As you saw, it very quickly gained that alien counter. So it's still not going to be able to activate. There you go. Gain the alien counter, stuck in defense, cannot activate. Again, You gain an alien counter, and you're stuck in a defense and you can't activate. This is wild. Now, on our own turn, we could remove 2 alien counters from the field to then normal summon a reptile. That's not that big of a deal. Okay, sure. Daruma's going to get rid of the Z-roll, though. That is a problem. That's the main out to it. Otherwise, we would continue to Floodgate. Even if they were to summon a Lovely from the deck, it would not be able to activate. We're going to Reborn from the graveyard for the Shokan into the Selene Snapper. And just like that, flip down the Typhon. Goodbye to both of our Link monsters, completely blown out. Can we recover? Ragnarika, Selene, return our monster back in the deck to come forth and summon. And before it could do whatever it wants to do, we're going to summon the Lovely, return back the Typhon, trigger the effect of the Lovely, get popping, wiping out the Selene Snapper, as we also trigger the Chandelier to add back to the hand here. But we're going to finger the Chandelier, chain the Butler to summon itself onto the field. Do we also finger the Butler? Yes, we do. Finger the Butler, finger the Chandelier. None will be reborning or adding itself back to the hand. I don't think so, but we're still going to lose our Snapper. Thus, we have 0 cards in our hand, 0 cards on the field. What can we do? Do we have any good graveyard effects? Or do any of the Ogdoadics have some sort of reborn effect on the grave to recover? Well, it looks like that is not the case at the moment. 16 cards in our graveyard. Top decking an Ariana. Holy moly, that's a really good top deck. Just having the Lovely to recycle traps in the graveyard is going to be a big deal. Lovely, recycle back the big welcome into our back row, which in this situation, they have the ability to pop a card in the field or in their hand and also pop an additional card. They got pop 2 as we draw 1. 2 pop, 1 draw. Off the top of the deck, a Serpentine Princess. Okay, we're going to return it back. Come forth and summon Selene Snapper. Sure, and I guess the Snapper is going to get snapped right now. Otherwise, you could banish up to 2 monsters from your graveyard, then target that many spell and trap cards your opponent controls, destroy them. That's pretty much the only effect it had going for it. Well, we have an Evil Seed from the deck now. How the heck did that happen? What? Serpentine Princess. If this is shuffled from your field into your deck, special summon an Evil Seed from your deck? Isn't this card really old? That is wild. Generally, when a monster goes back in the deck, they can't activate unless it specifies otherwise, as it does on the card. That's wild. All right, but, you know, again, the Lovely is going to be the second pop. Ariana, searching our deck, and we're going to be special summoning our Lady Labyrinth onto the field. Goodbye, the Evil Seed. We're going to search for 2 Ragnarikas, banish it. We could Bloom, reborn our Ragnarika onto the field. As the Wicked Butterfly triggers, I'm not sure what that even does. The Bloom is going to be searching, not reborning. Search and discard. Okay, we're going to Ogdoadic Overlord, reborn from the graveyard. Overlord is going to then reborn the Zeol. Zeol is going to put all the opposing monsters into defense and they cannot attack, as we are now big enough to take out the Lady and the Lovely. We got the comeback. This is actually working. In the end phase, we search for Ragnarika Bloom. Sure. You cannot activate. You are stuck in defense. Still, that trap is continually placing A counters onto their monsters where they're stuck in defense and cannot activate. The Muckraker is going to gain an alien counter, and it can't activate. Can't discard, can't reborn. The Lovely, you don't have to be in defense to be negated. You're not negated. You just can't activate. All right, we're now going to Overlord. We're going to target a monster in the graveyard and then special summon it as the Imperm negates. Now, the Bloom is unfortunately negated here, but we could follow up with the other Bloom as we have the Labyrinth reborning a Lovely from the graveyard. Can we deal with that Lovely? Of course we can. The Bloom is reducing their monsters as it gets boosting onto our own. As we now make a Skeletal Soldier, triggering the Beetle to reborn from the graveyard our Rika Princess. Skeletal Soldier, further reborning another Ragnarika. As we now make a Strenna. We have a way to tribute the Strenna. We have Big Welcome Labyrinth, which is going to spin Strenna back and trigger the Lovely to pop another card in the field and trigger the Torby to add itself onto the field. I think we really got screwed by that Big Welcome. Big Welcome plus Lovely play. We just lost an Imperm from the hand, but it looks like we're still cooking. Snapper going to snap itself back in the field. We're going to target up to 2 spell and trap cards on the field, wiping them out. To battle we go. The Muckraker is going to protect the Lovely from being destroyed. That is a situation. So we messed up the attack order, huh? We had to attack the Muckraker first. And, well, couldn't the Muckraker protect the Torby and then tribute itself to... Is it a hard once return on that effect to protect? You could target, if a monster would be destroyed, you could tribute one instead. You can only use, okay, that could be used more than once, so it still would have been able to protect, right? We're now going to Lovely set up a Daruma from the graveyard. I don't think we're gaining alien counters anymore. I think that effect's now done. We have the Torby triggering after our monster has been spun back. Now, the big welcomes are semi-limited in OCG. That would be the end of it, but in Master Duel, they do have 3. As they're going to further Shokan this up into a Chaos Angel on summon, banish a card in the field. You have to remember, they got evenly matched, okay? Not just game 1, but also game 2. Evenly matched, banished everything, and Ogdoadic is still putting up a great fight. I think so. Now, the Chaos Angel is not protected from monster effects. It just can't be destroyed by battle. We have Bloom reborning a banished monster. We've got the Curious tributing to reborn itself from the graveyard, as the opponent also gets to summon a body from their graveyard, but it's negated. We're going to Imperm negate the Curious, which was activating to do what? You are negated, sir. Don't try to cheat. Special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. So our Reborn from the graveyard has been negated. Do we have any more plays? Do we have any more tributing? We still got more plays. We're going to snap this up. Reborn from the graveyard. We are going to now be popping the back row card, right? Or no, not yet. What does this do? Is this... No, this is not the Snapper. This is the Skeletal Soldier, Reborn to Ragnarika. And now what's going to happen is the Daruma will flip the entire field face down, plus sending the Skeletal Soldier to the grave. Thus, we're screwed because the Beetle wants to be sent to the grave for a Ragnarika Link, which will then trigger to Reborn from the grave any of our monsters. Off the top of the deck, we got the Torby, the Chaos Angel taking out the Beetle here. And just like that, lethal damage, but I did want to show you a quick little ruling here. Well, I can't show you. Because the Chaos Angel is flipped down and flipped up, it forgot that it used a Dark Monster to protect your monsters from battle, so it did in fact lose its additional effect, as the Lady unfortunately wipes out the remaining life points for Ogdoadic. It was a great try, but evenly freaking match banished all of our cards. Slayton, you definitely made me really interested in playing some Ogdoadic, so thank you very much, Slayton. I gotta be whipping that out. Damn, I didn't know it was that good with the floodgates. Now, you did get 2-0'd, but you got double evenly. Not cool. Let's go. We got the Goat deck. The Snow Piss is going to be able to quick effect banish 2 of our fish from our hands during the opponent's turn. So what do we have here? We have non-target monster banish. We have a fusion play with the Brandon Red. We have Ash Blossom. And the Quem could also reborn the Albaz to fuse the opposing field. We have about 4 disruptions here. Let's go, let's go. Now, Sekka's Light. We have to have no spell and trap cards on our graveyard to activate this. We get to draw 2 cards and return a monster from our hand back in the deck to then draw a card. Pretty damn good. Now, what else do we have here? We're going to Sardine. Send a Sardine from the deck to the grave to special summon itself onto the field. Send a Sardine to special summon this from the hand. Now, we're locked out of the extra deck of all non-water monsters. We're going to normal summon our Be a Tuneful Princess to special summon from the deck, our Leafish. Leafish on summon will send from the deck a Shift. Shift is going to banish itself to then Babusa monster on the field. We're now going to Sekka Light, return a card back to get drawn as we draw into an Ash Blossom, which would have been great for that Max C, mate. We're going to Brandon High Spirit, send to the graveyard the Grand Grunol. As we grab an Albion from the deck, Cartesia's going to trigger, reborn the Albaz, fuse the opposing field, but we're not going to actually activate that effect, so we have nothing to fuse into as we now Mirror Jade non-target monster, banish the Leafish off the field as we add back the Cartesia. And we have the Titanclad summoning from the deck, another Quem to send from the deck a branded card, which will be our Albaz. As we now branded in red, add the Albaz to then fuse their hand or field into a Lubellion. What's the Lubellion going into? Maybe we're going to go into a Borlo to pop the Sardine. Is that what we're doing? By banishing the Mercurial, it's going to trigger to grab an Albaz monster from the deck. We're discarding the Albion Shrouded Dragon from the hand to fuse into exactly what I said. Borlode Furious Dragon is here. Borlode Furious will pop one of our own monsters to take out that Sardine. Now, it looks like we have nothing. We have plays. We do. We got plays. We got plays. We could do something. Shift's going to reborn itself back onto the field. Sure. Further Shokaning into a Little Knight. Little Knight in Branded. What the hell? If you summon a Little Knight, you then can't Branded Fusion afterward. If you Branded Fusion first, you still can't Little Knight afterward. So, wow. Having the Little Knight in this deck, it is not a standard branded deck, though. And just like that, we have the Snow Piss. Snow Piss is going to be banishing fish from the hand and graveyard to summon itself onto the field to trigger their effects. Now the Shift can synchro with the Snow Piss. The Snow Piss just used a very interesting effect here. It's a crazy ruling. If the Little Knight leaves the field, it's going to be banished through the effect of Snow Piss. So if the Little Knight activates her effect to banish herself, she's not banished through her own card effect, thus she does not come back in the end phase because she's banished through the effect of the Snow Piss instead. Okay. And we are going to be banishing before that. We are afflicted by that effect, by the way. So she will banish through her own effects by jumping off the field. And we're going to chain the Goatee. We're then going to non-target monster banish before the Goatee fulfills its synchro play. And I think from here, we're pretty much screwed. Yeah. Reborn back. Oh, we're not done. We have Zep. We're going to be adding a Zep through the effect of the Pisses. Zep's going to reborn itself back on the field as we then on summon activate the synchro summon into a giant fish that wipes out every single attack position monster on the field. I think it has to be special summoned. That would be one of the cards. The other effect would be to banish a card in the field. So either we had the full field wipe, which got disrupted. We are now going to be hopping into game 2 through Earl GB's Goatee deck. Let's get to it. Let's do it. Justinian, what the heck is your deck, mate? Second Light, draw 2. No Ash Blossom to negate that. I don't think so. Second Light, return a card from her hand back into the deck. Let's draw another card. Second Light is nuts. Draw into that Max C. Leaf Fish going to be negated by the Veiler from sending a fish from the deck to the graveyard, which helps set up all our combos. So what do we do from there? The Pisses really wants to be banished, but do we have a way to banish it? We have Keef. Keef special summoning itself onto the field to then Shokan into the Abyss Keeper. Abyss Keeper is going to special summon a fish from the hand. Now on summon, the Pisses is going to be grabbing a fish to then banish a fish. Snowpiss is going to be banishing a fish from the graveyard to add itself back to the hand. And now the Keef's going to be reborning itself back on the field during the next turn. We have Nagnahat banishing our own Veiler to search for a dragon within the end phase. Come to us, Seifert. And the Keef has the ability of, if a monster is special summoned to the opponent's field, you can then banish that monster by returning one of your banished cards into the graveyard, I think. No, you special summon your banished monster. That's how it works. Let's Max C it up. Druid Swarm is going to chain to the Max C. Thus, you're going to draw one less card for our special summoning. And this is when the Keef is possibly going to get triggering. Keef actually can't trigger because we don't have a banished level 6 or lower fish. So what do? What's the play? The play is going to be Snowpiss, banish Zep. Zep when banished, reborn to then perform a synchro summon. That's going to be the play. Okay, return back, draw a card, Seifert, and now we are doing it. Banish from the hand and graveyard, summon the Snowpiss, trigger the Zep. Zep's going to reborn itself onto the field. Snowpiss is ensuring that the Jerusalem gets banished when it leaves the field instead of being sent to the grave, thus it won't trigger. And now we're going to Synchro Shokan into a White Aura Dolphin. The White Aura Dolphin destroy all attack position monsters, whether they're special summoned or not, wipe out the entire field. You special summoned a monster, thus we're going to trigger the Keef. And the Keef right there was activating to banish the opponent's monster and special summon our banished fish onto the field. So Banish, special summon, White Aura, wipe out the field. Those were our disruptions. Very nice. Let's hop into game 3. All right, we have Gamma and just Gamma. We don't have any turn 0 plays. If you don't have the Snow Piss, then you don't really have a way to be triggering your Pisses to then summon itself, search a fish, banish a fish, which you banish the Zap to then summon. That'd be the level 8 Synchro. And besides the White Aura Whale, instead of summoning that, you could instead summon something like the Askin. Askin on Synchro Summon would target a fish you control and one card your opponent controls, banishing both cards on the field. We're going to have to play, I mean, what the heck? Justinian, you got Synchros, you got Link monsters. Your Branded Fusion cannot be activated this turn, but you're still making branded plays. Absolute nutty deck. Send a Serenir. Serenir send from the deck a Lubellion. Lubellion tributing off the Albion to then set up a Branded Regained. Anaconda is going to be using the Branded Fusion to then summon a Mirror Jade. This is why we have to ban Anaconda. There you go. Justinian thought, if Anaconda's banned the TCG, there should be a really crazy way to exploit this card. Well, get around the restriction of Branded Fusion by still summoning your Mirror Jade even after performing a Link or a Synchro Summon, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's got the Regained, a Baron de Flor, a Dispater, a Branded Red, a Veiler, and the Mirror Jade is coming. Now, the Mercurier on field is a disruption. It's a hand and field trap. It can work from the field to negate a monster effect. How do we stop this? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 disruptions to play through 7 with the Baldrake. Can we play through 7? I don't think so. All right, Sardine's going to send a Sardine from the deck to the grave to then special summon. We're going to negate that Sardine but not destroy it. We're going to Gamma, negate the Dissipator Mate. We're going to Mercurier, negate the negate. Now, the Mercurier does not destroy, thus the Gamma's still in the hand to be used again in the same turn. But we have to have no monsters to activate the Gamma. So how do we get the Gamma to work again? Well, on the summon of your Keef, that's going to trigger the Regain to Reborn the Druistorm. We're going to use the Abyss Shark to special summon itself onto the field if we control a water monster, as the Baron de Floor negates and destroys. Now, the Pisses is a level 6, unfortunately. We already used up our normal summon. The main way to get the Pisses out from the hand is to perform a Link 2 summon. Had we been able to get a second body on the field, we could have made some great plays, but unfortunately, Dragon, Link, branded, defeating Goaty. Earl, I'm very happy you tried, my friend. I do hope to see more from you. Let's keep on going.